Good afternoon, Romaine.
Good afternoon, Mr. Collins.
Welcome to CWS as it is.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay. My name is Romaine Benn, and I'm 24 years old. I was born on the west coast of Berbice. Graduated from university last year with a degree in sociology. Um, what do I do? Okay. What I do is upcycling. Well, basically, I would say craft, because not just upcycling. I do everything in craft. I also specialize in classroom beautification.
I didn't hear the last part. You would?
I also specialize in classroom beautification.
Classroom beautification. So,
Uh,
the name of your business is Hollywood Bend Creative Arts.
yes, it is.
I mean, I can guess, but how did you come up with the name?
Actually, my dad would say he is Ben from Hollywood, and I'm looking for a name for my business. I always wanted to name my business something with exclusive, the word exclusive. But a friend of mine, he was saying, that is too common, so let's name it after your dad. But my dad, for me, represents strength and endurance and everything, so I named the business after him. So my business, whenever I'm feeling down or it's not going good, I would always remember him and it would keep me going.
How long have you been in business?
I have Hollywood Bank Creative Arts started last year, August, but I've been in business for a very long time.
So tell us about some of your earlier challenges when you just started.
Um, when I just started, okay, it was actually challenging to get persons to pay the amount of money that I would require for the work I do, because craft is time consuming
Yeah.
and persons would think that certain things were too expensive. So I had to break down in the prices where I lost a lot. So that was one of my major challenges.
So for those young people that are listening and trying to learn from your experience, how did you really deal with that? Do you still underprice your stuff so that you can make a market, or you found the right matrix?
No, actually, I think I was told by a lot of persons that I do underprice my stuff. But basically, when I started, I wanted my products to be affordable to all levels of people. I just didn't want the rich to afford it. I wanted everybody to be able to own a piece from Hollywood and creative arts. So my pricing, I think it's still a little low, but I'm working on it.
Mm. When you first started, how did you actually find your clients?
Um, that's a good question. I started advertising. I would walk around and tell people I would go into a store and I would say, okay, this is what I do. Or I would pick up the phone, I would call persons. When it came to my classroom beautification products, I would speak to teachers. My sister is a teacher, so I would tell her to tell her colleagues. And I was a teacher too, so I called my old workmates and I let them know what I was doing.
And so here you are, what, 24? You're young. How did your friends react to you getting into business?
Oh, they were very much supportive because they were all over telling everybody about what I do and all of that. So every time I needed, when I was out of work, I would call them, do you know anyone that needs my product? And they would go out there and they would actually find somebody that needs a product. So,
Did you find that surprising that your friends would help you like that?
no, that was not surprising. That's something we always do. We help each other. So it's not.
Man, I love this generation. Gosh, I just love the cooperative spirit that you guys have. I'm telling you, you don't realize how fortunate you are. So,
Okay.
so what are your immediate plans for your company?
Immediate plans from my company. I'm working on expanding. I
Uh-huh.
would really like Hollywood Ben to be not just in Guyana or regionally, but I need an international market. So I'm working on currently working on employing young persons like myself and getting my products out there.
Hmm. You have any samples of these products? Any of them with you?
Okay, the first thing that I'm going to show you are my bookmarks, which I started with last August. This is the first thing I had on the market. If you can see,
What
these
are
are
those?
bookmarks. They are corner bookmarks. You
Hmm.
put them. corner of the page, and this is the packaging that I did.
Nice.
Actually, first main customer with this was Austin's bookstore, and here I have a few others.
Wow.
I also do picture prints. I have here. I did this for independent
What is
celebration.
that's what is that? Describe that for us. What is that around the frame?
Um, these are, it's made from ribbon. Actually, this frame has a few layers. It's not just what you're seeing on the outside. It
Uh-huh.
has a few more layers underneath. I use fabric, I use cardboard, I use all sorts of things, plastic and all of that to make it as sturdy as possible. And I do them in cartoon characters too to attract the children. So I do have them
Oh.
on.
And
And
and is how long it takes you? Well, if you had 1,000 orders,
mhm.
would that be very difficult to produce?
Given like a week or two, yes, I would be able to
You'd be able to
do
do it. Yeah.
it. Yes.
And what do you find? What do you find since you started this business? What do you find most appealing?
What do I find most appealing is that persons they like what I do. Everybody they see my work and they just it draws them. I don't know, something about what I do draws attention. Everybody would see my work and they're like, oh wow, this is so beautiful. I never knew that this could have been a business or something. That's most appealing for me. The reaction I get from persons.
And your parents' reaction that when you got into business.
They were supportive, but at one point when I was charging low, they were like, "You need to stop doing this because you're not gaining anything." But now, actually, my mom she spends late night working with me trying to get orders
Oh, that's so good. That's
right.
good.
So they're into it.
And where do you see a Hollywood Ben Creative Arts in 10 years?
In Hollywood,
You know. Oh, okay.
on a serious note, as I just said, I need Hollywood Ben creative arts not just to be in Guyana. I need it regionally and internationally. I would like to see Hollywood Ben creative arts all over. When you go to America, you go to Suriname, wherever you go, you must know of Hollywood Ben creative arts. So
So,
that's where I see them.
so what would you like? What would you like people in the region or the other Caribbean nationals to know about Hollywood Ben Creative Arts?
Okay. As the name said, I would like them to know that everything that Hollywood Ben Creative Arts do is creative, as the name said. You would not see most of my products anywhere else because the ideas they just keep flowing. It's not like I'm looking there and getting an idea from somewhere else. Our products are unique. They are very much unique in every sense. And when you see them, they're products that you can actually connect with because they're made with love. So I think whenever you get a product from Hollywood, then Creative Arts, you would feel that love.
You know, the last guest on Mr. Vishnu Dwarga was talking about how critical, how important it is to be able to manage a process. So, are you to manage? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm
Right,
hearing you.
to manage a process. So I am thinking expansion, growth. Right now you're the one that is doing all this. But it might come a time when you have 1,000 orders from 5 different places. So that's 5,000 orders. What are your plans for expansion? Are you planning to train people?
No, actually, yes, I'm already looking into that. I am planning and I'm spending a lot, I'm investing a lot in training persons to do what I do because, as you said, I will not be able to complete all of the orders by myself. So I need to train persons to do it as efficient as I do.
Hmm. After being in business for a short bit, how are you convinced that you really cut out for business?
Oh, really? Oh, let me see. Hmm. To be in business, I would say to be you need to always know that even when you're in a race and everybody else have completed this race and you're the only one there, nobody is watching you. You should be able to continue until you're at the end. And I know that I am able to do that. When things get tough and nobody is watching and I'm there alone, I know that I'm able to go through it until I'm finished. So I think that's what it takes to be in business, and I think I have that.
So I've started this series, and I've been fortunate. to find young people who are in business to come on and so on. And what is surprising to many of us here in the diaspora is that there's so many talented young people, so many gifted young people who are in business. What are you finding among your friends? Is this a trend? Do you think that entrepreneurship is a trend that is taking place in Guyana right now?
Actually, yes, I do because I've been meeting a lot of young persons who are into business, and if they're not into, they're thinking of getting into business. So I do think it's a trend right now.
And what are the kind of things you guys are discussing among yourself about entrepreneurship?
Actually, we are looking among ourselves. Well, I haven't been doing much discussion, but what I think that we are looking at is with entrepreneurship is that everyone is thinking that we need more entrepreneurs in Guyana because when you're an entrepreneur, you're able to employ other persons out there. We're looking at the high unemployment rate, and we're thinking that we can help with that. So if we are in business, we can actually employ persons out there and they get jobs, they're able to provide for themselves, which in some area, there are a lot of young persons who are depressed because they don't have a job. And I think them being employed that would ease that amount of depression.
What is your biggest challenge today in your business?
Personally, my biggest challenge, let me see. Um, as I said before, I have challenges with my pricings for my
Pricing.
product.
Hmm. And so you find clients, you have customers.
Yes, I do.
Now, you mentioned you have picked up the phone or you walked into some companies and so on. What is that like, um, approaching like a big store, a big company? What is that experience like?
Sometimes it's scary because you go there and you don't know what they will say or what they will think about your product. It's actually having a lot of faith and believing in yourself, self confidence.
Mhm.
You go there and you have to believe in your products, and if you believe what you're giving to them is good, then you'll be able to put it over in a way that allows them to not say no to you.
And tell us about your first um, client, your first we would consider major client. What was that experience like?
As I said, it was Austin's bookstore.
Ah,
Um,
I didn't hear you.
my first major client was Austin's bookstore with
Uh
my
huh.
book. I went in there one day, one Saturday afternoon, not knowing what Mr. Austin would say, but I went there and I approached him and I told him about my product. And he was quite elated. He was happy that there was this young person there who wanted to be a business and he was happy to purchase my product.
And was it a sizable order?
It was, well, I should say it was not that big, but it was something good to work with for them.
So tell us a little bit about the craft, about the work that you do. What are some of the well, you mentioned the frame and so on, but what are some other products that you create?
I do bottle deals. I do invitations. I do coasters. Let me show you one of my bottle deals. You can see I have this is what I did for Mother's Day. It's a bottle deal. And
Hold on, don't put it down. Describe that for us. What went into making it? What is it covered with?
okay, this is actually a small bottle, and I covered this with yarn.
With
And
yarn.
yes, with yarn. And I made my little bows with ribbon and paper in the center. And here I have some embellishments where I purchased these. And I just made the letters with them.
Tell us a little bit about the whole yarn aspect of it. What does that entail?
It's like you have to know how to wrap the yarn because sometimes
So
if you
you
don't,
wrap it with yarn.
yes, I do. And if you don't do it properly, you might see a space between some of the wrappings and you may actually see the bottle. So it actually takes time and you have to be a person who is into neatness to get it done well. And you also have to have a lot of patience.
How long one of those bottles would take to do?
Before it would have taken me like half of an hour or something like that, but now it's like 50 minutes max
You're
because I
that fast.
calculate it easily, yes.
In the chat room, Brian asks, how much does a bottle cost?
Well, the bottle that I just showed to you, that is $500. That is what I charge.
500 Guyana dollars.
500 Guyana dollars.
Okay. And
And the one like this here, I charge 1,500 Guyana dollars for one of these.
that's nice. I
Thank
mean, they
you.
both are, but that's wow. So why you keep taking these down so fast? Let the audience.
Here at the bottom, this is rapid rope,
Uh-huh.
and different two colors of yarn for the top.
So when
You know,
someone buys one of these bottles for decorative purposes, right?
yes, sir. Yes, they would purchase them to decorate their homes. It's usually what I when I'm advertising them, I would put little flowers in them or dried grass to show you how you can use them. And with my products, it's when I sell it to you, it's not completed there because there's always space for you to add more. You can always customize it and make it however beautiful you want it to be. So there's always space on everything that I make for
Mhm.
more.
Tell me a story about um, one of these products that you had to make, and give us a process. How does this happen? Let's say you had to make a bottle or something like that for someone. What goes into that?
Okay,
You don't have
first
to give out your trade secret, but just,
well, telling you is giving out my secret. So,
huh?
I said, well, telling you is giving out the secret.
But then
And
don't tell us. Don't tell us. But what happens from the time a customer contacts you and say, well, look, I want um, I want a bottle. What happens?
well, basically, I would have to go get the bottle, and I would start the preparation process because I have to do a lot of things to the bottle. So I would go through the process of doing the basics, and I would think of a design. If the customer does not have a design, I would try to come up with something. So I would play around with my materials and see whatever comes up, and I would usually send a picture to the customer to see if they're okay with the design. If not, I think of something else, and if they're okay with it, then I go ahead and I produce the amount that they want.
I say, Michelle Foster asks, does she take custom orders?
Yes, I do.
And how does a customer find you?
I'm on Facebook, Hollywood Ben Creative Arts. I'm on WhatsApp, 6540334, and I can also be emailed at romaineaben@yahoo.com.
Romaine A. Ben at yahoo.com. And that's Romaine
Yes, sir.
A. Ben, Benn at yahoo.com. And what is that WhatsApp number again?
6540334.
6540334.
34.
But it's 592, right?
Yes, sir.
592. So how can I know I ask everybody this question. How can the government help someone like you um, grow?
I didn't get that
How
clear.
can how can the government help someone like you grow in your business or grow your business?
Okay, how can the government help me? Let me see. I'm thinking in my classroom beautification process. I think the government can help me by actually investing in that, where they can probably give me like a project to beautify the classrooms because seriously, when you go into the classrooms here, they need my help. So I think the government can work with me on that level. So let me help them and the schools to beautify their classrooms.
But that's a brilliant idea. Um,
Yeah,
beautifying classrooms. Who would you have to talk to? I guess the Ministry of Education.
I guess so.
Have you ever approached them?
No, I never did.
I can't hear you.
No, sir,
No,
never
you
did.
haven't. Yeah. So, are you planning on approaching them?
Yes, I am planning on approaching
Huh?
them. Yes, I am planning.
Are you suddenly getting shy on me?
I'm
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I think you should,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
I think you should come up with a plan, create a portfolio of schools or classrooms that you've beautified and approach them. Well, let me ask you this in case they're listening.
yes.
What are some benefits of beautifying a classroom?
Um, First thing, the children would go to school every day. It's an encouragement for them to go to school because if they're going to depressing looking classroom, then nobody wants to be there. So if the classroom is beautiful, then they're always there. And another thing with my products is that they're quite attractive in that the children, it draws their attention. So if you're constantly paying attention to a chart that I made, then whatever is on that chart, it sticks. So if you're not even paying attention to what the teacher is saying, and your attention is on that chart, then the message is you actually grasp the message. So it helps out a whole lot.
How did you come up with this idea about classroom beautification?
As I said, I was a teacher, and there were a lot of my colleagues who were like, "Oh my God, I can't draw, and I can't write on a cardboard, I can't draw," and they were always being criticized for their classroom, the look of their classroom. So when I stopped teaching, I said, you know what, I can actually help them. So I told them that, okay, I'm going to make all of your teaching aids, but it's going to cost you. And everybody was on board because yes, they can do it for themselves.
If the government were to call you, somebody
Yes,
from the ministry, are you ready?
yes, I am ready.
Yeah.
I've always been ready.
Wow. So, but if they give you several schools, schools with many classrooms to do, you'll have to get help.
Yes, I will have to
You
get
have
help.
people that are ready to come on board to assist you.
Yes, I know a lot of persons who are ready to come on board. So yes.
Mhm. What would you say is most rewarding about being in business for yourself?
What is most rewarding? Actually seeing the look on my customer's face.
Uh-huh.
Because I would think that okay, then I'm not sure if they're pleased, but when I see how when they're wowed by my products and everything, and the way I put myself over. And let me give you an example. I called a customer the other day. Well, I just picked up a number for a school, and I called the person, and I was telling her about what I do. So after that, like a week after, she was like, I didn't get your name. I was like, but I introduced myself. She was like, no, no, no. You were so captivating when you were advertising yourself that I forgot your name. So it's actually like seeing how they react and the happiness it brings to them, my product. That's rewarding for me.
And what is most frustrating?
What's more frustrating? That sometimes they even though they like my products, they do not want to pay the price. That frustrates me a whole
So,
lot.
do you have any idea as to how you could overcome that? You know, the cost of your product versus what you can reasonably get. Do you think is that you can't get the money for your product, or is the kind of customer that you're reaching?
I think I can get it, but I somehow have to look at a way to not make it that costly, but put it in some way that they can afford it. Not think of it that it's costly, that they can actually see that okay, it's worth it. I am working on that. I'm not sure as to how I'll get it done, but I am working on that as a moment.
How do you balance the demands of what you're doing, your business, and time for leisure and friends?
Leisure and friends. But I can't tell the last time I've spent time with my friends. Right now, all that I do is work, sleepless nights.
Sleep? Did you
Friends,
say
I think
sleepless nights?
yes, a lot of sleepless nights.
Oh my gosh! But then, what is the silver lining? What is the reward at the end of the tunnel? What is the light at the end of the tunnel?
As I said, the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me see the satisfaction of my customers.
Uh-huh.
That's what
What are
they.
some what are some comments or compliments you've gotten so far that's really touched you?
Well, for one teacher that I know, she was very much grateful. She was like, "Oh my God, Romaine, you saved me," and that felt good because her classroom was. She would always, at the end of the term, walking around to other teachers. What do you have to give away? I can't draw. I can't do anything. So now her classroom is most beautiful, filled with all of the beautiful things, and she was very much grateful. She was like, "You saved me," and that for me, that felt really good to know that I actually helped her.
And in the chat room, Brian said she should really call the Ministry of Education. And also, I like your suggestion that she should submit a proposal.
Actually, I do have
But I actually I said portfolio. But
yes,
anyway, I think he's right as well. Proposal with your portfolio of work. Do you have one?
yes, I do. I did not walk with it, but I actually gave one to the Minister of Business. 'Cause, there was an expo in Berbice and he was there, and he was very much interested in my classroom beautification stuff. So I gave him one of my profiles.
Let's hope they call you at some point. Do you think, right, for business, for doing what you're doing, do you think, or what do you think about having the right mindset?
I think that's major. If you don't have the right mindset, then you're gonna quit.
Mhm.
Trust me. You
Uh,
need the right mindset to go through this because it's tough at times. Sometimes it's tiring, but if you like, I would usually say when my friend taught me this, mind over matter. It's always about the right mindset because sometimes you don't feel like it, but if you tell yourself, okay, I have to get this done, this is needed by someone, this will save someone, then you will go through and you will get it done, even though sometimes you're in pain, you get it done.
why haven't you quit?
Pardon me?
Why haven't you quit it?
Why haven't I? Because um trust me, that word I need to take that word out of my vocab. Quit. It does not define me at all. I am not a quitter. I know what it is to go through hard times and come out in the end smiling. So I am not a quitter, so I'm never going to quit even though I may feel like doing it. So,
If you could turn back the hands of time to when you first started, what would you do differently?
what would I do differently? I don't think I would have done anything differently because everything that I've been through, every appointment, disappointment brought me to where I am right now. Because if I did not experience some of those things that I experienced, I would not have been sitting here right now talking to you. So I think that everything that I've been through was worth it. I would not change any of it because probably I would not have been able to have the strength that I have now.
Mhm.
I would not change anything.
Vishnu said, I can offer her a complimentary session to get her moving faster and smarter. Do you know Mr. Vishnu Dwarga?
I met him at an expo once.
We're not hearing you. We're not hearing you too clearly.
Yes, I met him at an expo once.
Okay. Vishnu said she has a very unique talent. So are you gonna make contact with him?
Yes, I will.
Awesome. You see how important it is to network, right?
Yes, it is important to network.
Good. What really drives you?
Oh, what drives me? It might sound so weird, but helplessness drives me. That's like
Helplessness. Tell us about that. What does that mean?
it's like I see people out there who cannot help themselves in a lot of situations, and I really want to help them and make them able to help themselves. So when I see somebody out there, whatever I do it with the intention of being able to help others at the end of this. I just don't want Hollywood and creative arts to be big out there and I'm the one gaining. I need to help persons out there. I need to help the persons who cannot afford education, who cannot afford medical attention, who cannot afford a lot of things. And I also want to help, like, for example, the deaf persons. I am very much into them. So the helpless is them not being able to communicate in a certain way. I think it drives me. It drives me to do what I do because I know once I am there or halfway there, I will be able to help someone else.
If there was one question that I didn't ask you, you wish I asked, what would that question
Oh, what would that question be? Oh my God.
be? It's okay. It's okay. It really is. You're being yourself, and I like that.
Probably I would ask how important is
Okay,
networking.
I can't hear you. Can you
I
just
would probably wish that you would ask how important is networking.
well? Let me ask you that then. How important is networking?
How important is networking? I would say that no man is an island. Neither is any of us the repository of all knowledge. So networking is very much important. We need to network to get ourselves out there and to learn more about what we do about entrepreneurship and everything else.
When is the last time networking has benefited you, and in what
Um,
way?
right now, because I am networking with a group of women from our Women in Business Expo, and it helped a whole lot because there are a lot of things that I did not know in business that I'm learning, and a lot of things that they did not know about craft that they're learning too. So we're actually helping each other.
Romaine, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Thought I knew you, but I really don't. There's more to you than quoting scriptures and impressing folks. And it'd be sad to know that you are never here. If we turn on all the music and we clear the smoke, and I refuse to be part of the crowd that can only recognize you by the things you do. They wanna see you move, but I wanna know your ways. So I made up in my mind, in this season I'll be chasing you. I'm after your heart, and you know you're the reason I'm on this road alone. In this season, find me chasing you. I'm after your heart, and you know you're the reason I'm on this road alone. Day and night, night and day, I will never stop till you become my dwelling place. And to be where you are, this is my desire.